Well, I want to just say a few words about discrimination today, because it's a human rights issue. See, I've got the site up there. Yesterday I paid my, I don't know if you can see it, my electricity bill. Final notice, it says there. But what you'll also notice, it's got all this minuscule writing, you see, which is so small. Now this annoys me intensely, and of course, because of lockdown especially, I mean, I've taken to it. Normally I go to the post office and pay my thing, you know. But just here, look, here I've got a big magnifying glass here, look. You see there, telephone, X marks the spot. But you can't read, well, you need remarkably good eyesight to read it. There it is, there it says, call. So I phoned them, and it works quite well. I don't like these online payment things. I hate all this press button 1, press button 2 and all that stuff. I'm not very good at it. I haven't got the patience for it. But this is quite ridiculous. And I've complained before about this. It makes no difference whatsoever. They got a piece of paper here, A4, loads of blank space on it, and tiny typeface, which lots of people cannot read. Now, it's not that you have to ask for a large print version. They just want to print the form so that, generally speaking, everybody with reasonable eyesight can read what the form says. Now, they threaten you here with final notice. Well, I reckon this ought to be my final notice. There's a disability discrimination law coming in. I think that somebody should invoke that law about stuff like this. This is a public company. Electricity is essential. People must be able to read what these things say. And it runs to all sorts of things. Now, here's a packet of cold and flu powder. Now, it's not quite so bad. The print is a bit better. But essential stuff like this, ingredients, it's got a caution, there's a health warning. Now, this is a co-op one. Now, I've been onto the co-op over the last 4 years, asking them to do an audit on their services and products, that they are suitable for everybody. You can open jars, you can open tins, and you can read what it says, such as prices when you go into the shop. Again, it's a discrimination issue. It's a human rights issue. You may not think this isn't about hanging people up by the fingernails, but here's one, look, here's another one. Look, this was even worse. Cocodamol caplets. I mean, this is virtually unreadable. Virtually unreadable. You know, I don't suppose I can read. Even, you see, this is so sad. I mean, I appreciate they've got a little small box and they want to put a lot of information. Well, they've got a front there. Stop doing the rubbish advertising. Just put the information we want. Here are Mr. Ainsley with his roasted vegetable couscous here. This is another habit of these people who make print. I mean, the print is far too small. Totally inappropriate, white on black, it doesn't work. Get in touch, it says. Look, get in touch, it says. You can see that, that's reasonable size, but it's not really big enough. Totally unreadable, totally unreadable. Look at this text here. I don't know, I looked at that and I thought, well, is it script to read or not? Is it? Well, it is. Mr. Ainsley wants us to read that, look. It's total gibberish. It is not acceptable. Okay, there's the product. They've got loads of space on that thing to do it properly. Entertainment. Now here's the Jersey Opera House booklet. Now I've been complaining about they've improved slightly, but so much of what they write is small, and they will overprint and they will use inappropriate colour schemes. I mean, I know, look, you see this, all this stuff, it disappears into a no man's land. You can't read what it's saying. They've improved slightly, but it's still a lot of it. It's very small print. What can we do about this? These are here for everybody to participate, to have an equal chance of participating, going to the theatre, booking, knowing what's on at the theatre, taking tablets, whatever it might be. I get a load of tablets made up for me, you know, by the chemist. Now here it is. Now here's again, it's this thing. I mean, tablets, medication, it's important that you can see what they are. It's got what the tablet is, very good. and what you're supposed to do, take one every day after food. Well, the tablets themselves are confusing enough. It should be made simple and clear. Here's a typical tablet. Here, look. Look at this. Look at the writing on here. And of course, once you punch out a tablet, once you punch it out, you lose the information. You can't read what they are. So eventually you finish up with a few tablets. You haven't got a clue what they are. You don't know what they are. You see? It's not good enough. It's potentially dangerous. And they often say that, oh, patients, old elderly, we're vulnerable, elderly vulnerable now. If we don't die of the virus, we will die from taking the wrong pills if we're not careful. They're always saying, oh, they go into places and they got stacks of unused pills. Half the time, people don't even know what they're taking. This magazine, very well produced magazine. I don't know how it's surviving with the virus. I don't know what it's doing now, because obviously these things are vulnerable. They had this excellent article the other day, and I went to see them about it. This excellent article about 2020 Vision, a whole page there about the work of ICANN, the local charitable group, which does a lot for people with sight impairments, but is generally quite small. But there's much worse print in this magazine. Some of the stuff is, look at this, look, contact numbers. You cannot see them, you cannot read them. And they love it because electronically you can reduce down to the most ridiculously small size. And this magazine too is another one which goes, I mean, they print the pretty girls. Look, you can see the pretty girls, that's lovely, you can print those nice and clearly. But when it comes to text and information, even the adverts in there, the advertising studios who set the adverts up, they will use print on colour background. You can't read what they are. It's all, I mean, it looks pretty on the drawing board or on the computer screen, but for the user, the consumer, it's discriminatory. Lots of people cannot read it. I think that'll do. I think I've covered what I want to say, but the Co-op, as I say, are supposed to do an audit. They're supposed to be doing an audit. How far it's got, they've had staff changes, I don't know whether they will do it, but I've been asking them for 4 years to do an audit of what they provide, the services they do, and every shop, every place in Jersey. Once we get back to what they're now calling the normal, as though capitalism was ever normal, but in a human rights context, these things have to be addressed. And there is a discrimination law on its way, disability discrimination. These are disability discrimination issues. They've got to be addressed. It's not a game. This is serious stuff.